world, and that's a part of the reason why you're being more critical than you have been in the past. Where you can say no and do it with discernment, because you deserve to be in this winning energy. Luck is on your side and you're feeling it as you awaken more to your value systems. That's what has put you here. Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Simone Hansen, and welcome to SeaGoat Secrets. Okay. Hi Capricorn. I am Kristen and I'm a healer. In this video, you are going to get a full rundown of the remainder of the month of May and all the things that you need to know about it. So I begin with astrology and I end with a card reading. If at any point in this video you feel connected to me and you would like to become a member of our client circle, you can find that link here and also in the bio. We welcome you. And as you all know, I am a global citizen and I love connecting with all of you on a worldly and global level. So if you have not yet, let me know where you're listening from in the comments and we can all connect on a worldly and global level. Now, with all that being said, let's get into this. All right, so hi Capricorn. This is kind of a quick video to break down the remainder of May and also do the reflections of the Sagittarius full moon. So I'm going to start with the Sagittarius full moon and then we're going to venture into some more things that you need to know as May is coming to a close and how you can take this energy and try to get the best of it before we enter into the new paradigm of June, really. So let's start. So when it comes to the Sagittarius full moon, this energy came in awakening your 12th house sector. And when we're talking about your 12th house, we're talking about all the spaces in which you're going in your subconscious mind and all of the things that were unearthed in that space. Many of you could have found yourselves kind of going, again, the past has been in the back of your head all year, right? But as this moon came about, it really kind of rushed you into some things that maybe you had forgotten about or that were kind of just on the surface that ended up kind of pulling you all the way under during this moon transit. And actually the good thing is it's kind of like what I would call like an end game kind of energy, because some of the things that have become unearthed are things that really have been deeply rooted and kind of you finally going to finding the bulb at the end of the root, I guess, right? Where you finally have dug deep enough to be able to pull it out and look at it, right? Major themes tied to karmic cycles. So you guys could have found yourselves looking at things that have been deeply rooted, that have caused a lot of karmic cycles throughout your life. So things that have been themes for a very long time, or things that happened very much long ago, but you could see play out numerous times in your lifetime up until this point. And it's not to say that it was easy, right? And it's not to say it is easy right now. You guys could find yourselves kind of going through depressive thoughts, kind of in a way where you subconsciously are so deep within those areas that you are not necessarily able to pay attention to what's happening around you, because, you know, Sagittarius is putting you in the deep waters of the 12th house. The 12th house is ran by Pisces, and they're, you know, you kind of can get lost at sea. But you guys have been looking at themes of how you have gotten in your own way, practiced self-sabotage, how self-sabotage could have also happened to you, the things that have stood in your way. Again, the things that have caused trauma or breakdowns, breakages. And again, this is about you looking at karma and how you can put an end to things that have been playing out up until this point. And a part of the reason why is because we're moving into a Jupiter shift. And so it's the beginning of a new narrative in terms of where the universe is on your side, giving you luck and fortune, moving out of Taurus into you awakening your value systems. And when Jupiter was in Taurus, it wasn't just about pleasure and discovering sensuality. It was also about you discovering your own personality. when we think about the fifth house is your personality, your fun sector, your pleasures, but also your talents, your creativity, and the way you express your self-worth, the way you express your identity, because we're thinking about Leo energy. So as this has been coming up all year, we have now entered into the shift as Jupiter has gone into Gemini, which is asking for something different in the sixth house. And as you go through this shift, it's kind of this end, at the end game, right? This end of this cycle that says, okay, where are your traumas? What are your traumas? And how can you finally pull out these roots for good in that sense? And it's to help you so that you move into this next sector that's all about practicalizing that energy. Again, when we think of the sixth house, we think of Virgo. So the work that you put in to create the life that it is that you want, the work that you put into how you show the world your self-worth. Fifth house is the awakening of the idea of self-pleasure, especially for you guys, because it happens in Taurus. Okay. Because it happens in Taurus for you, the way in which your wealth and your self-worth align with this energy is a part of how you pleasure yourself. And when we step into Gemini, it's the way in which you go into your mind to practicalize your day-to-day routines and the little details to get very mercurial in terms of creating the life that reflects who it is that you truly are. So as you're going through this shift, it's like you have to kind of finally pull out these weeds, you know, of all of this trauma work that you guys have been doing post the Capricorn Pluto transit, and say to yourself, what will I not tolerate? What won't I do again? And how can I actually shift these narratives and step into a new paradigm without the baggage of the past? So that's a part of why the subconscious has been so uprooted and kind of having you in these deep spaces where it feels as if though the past is sitting in the present. And for some of you, it could have washed you away, especially if you have strong Sagittarius placements. If Sagittarius is in your north node, for example, this moon really has done kind of a number on you, because it's the way in which it's telling you that your life path, your life purpose, you living as your higher self, has been taken back by things that have stood in your way. I guess, again, tied to Sagittarian energies, it's really making you look at your environments and asking you to dive deeper, go further, look at the bigger picture, the way in which people or yourself has stood in your way of your own progression for reaching your highest elevation. If it's in your moon, it could have found yourself again looking at how you stood in your own way in terms of doing the things that you needed to do to liberate your own emotional body. If it's in your rising sign, similar to the moon, but again, how you navigate your life and who it is that you show up in the world as, and how you've stood in your own way. So it's been deep in that area, and you've been swimming through these waters with the fiery push of Sagittarius, asking you to think deeper and look at things from a bigger picture, and be willing to kind of put the backpack on and venture into new areas with yourself. But you've had to do so by looking into the crevices of these weeds and pulling them all out, and looking at the past and saying never again, you know? You've been looking at the parts of yourself as well that have allowed yourself to lower yourself. So the times when you have compromised your self-worth, compromised your dignity, your integrity, or other people have, many of you guys have been, again, looking at this space where who you've been in the past and how it went against who it is that you are now, and then it causing frustration, anger, depression, could be rage for some of you. You know, in this subconscious space where it's like, who am I really in comparison to this kind of muckiness that is kind of been spinning around in your head, the past, the present, identity, other people's perspectives of you versus your perspective of yourself, different things like that, and this kind of tug and pull back and forth, kind of wishy-washy energy. And again, it's like the lower mind battling with the higher mind, right? The lower mind of Gemini, which is the day-to-day, kind of the gossip, the simple talk, to the higher mind of Sagittarius, which is more philosophy, more expansive thinking, far beyond, and how you've been closing the chapters tied to this energy, how you will not put yourself in a position where you won't do the simple things anymore. Or if you maybe have addiction issues that you've recently gone through, how you are really saying that you will not go back there, and you will no longer associate yourself with those people. And most importantly, kind of releasing yourself from self-shame, guilt, self-responsibility, hyper-responsibility is some of the things that you guys have been revisiting in terms of lifting this energy off of you in order to open the door to the new beginning. But it's felt like you've been kind of trying to pull yourself out of the lagoon of the 12th house that is telling you where you are in the present versus where you are in the past, and having to differentiate between the two. The good thing, like I said, is it's about closing the karmic cycles on this as we enter into the new, not only the second half of the year of vindication, the 8th year, the Capricorn year of you practicalizing your new life, but as we go into the new beginning in terms of Jupiter and Gemini and what it is that it wants for you. So as May continues itself, I would say do not fight this, do not resist it. Continue to allow yourself to kind of swim amongst these waters, and whatever comes out, allow it to come unearthed and up to the surface. The ways in which the past are showing up is not just here to frustrate you or to pull you in depressive episodes or rethinking about things that might have traumatized you, or not just to depress you, but to actually make it so that you can get out on the other side. Really so that you can say that never again, you know, able to differentiate between the experience and who you are and who it is that you want to be, and releasing again the tie to those things that put you in those spaces. For some of you, it can be the present fighting you as well. So it could be trying to let go of relationships that no longer serve you, people that no longer serve you, finalizing divorces, leaving environments, finally stabilizing moves, and wanting to venture far away from where it is that you are, putting a close to the ways in which you've held yourself back, tying yourself to the mundane in order to think bigger and expand further. So this is all very good. As May plays out, again, this stuff is going to be in your subconscious, but you're going to find the energy lightening up before we step into June. Another thing as well is the last quarter moon going on in Pisces. This energy is asking you to double up this subconscious, right? We've got Piscean energy, and this is matching here with Sagittarius going on in your 12th house, and Pisces is in your 3rd house. And this is kind of a space where the Piscean energy has you looking at your 3rd house, which is your neighbors, your day-to-day life, which is the Gemini house, right? So we've got two opposing energies. We've got one in Sagittarius in your 12th house that's ruled by Pisces, and we've got Pisces sitting in your 3rd house ruled by Gemini. And so the two combinations together is asking you to look at the ways in which you can live a life that is more reflective of what you want in your day-to-day experiences. So who can you let into your life, and who can you finally close the door on? I kind of mentioned this in one of the reels where I said, don't be shy, turn a neighbor into a friend, right? This is how you step out of the lagoon of the subconscious mind, moving through the past, helping you understand that the present is in fact the present, and the past no longer has a hold on you if you do not allow it to. Reach out into the present moment and touch the things around you. Really invest in the environment that you are existing in, because you put yourself in it, and you've done the work that you needed to do in order to shift the paradigm. But you have to actually step out of a space of isolation and allow yourself to experience it in order to bring forth the reality shift to, I guess I keep saying shift, but you know, in order to wash away the misaligned perspectives, right? So this is kind of, again, what this last quarter moon is asking you to do in terms of your manifestation. It's like, okay, this is what has happened, but this is what it is that I can do now. I can appreciate what it is that I have now more because of what has gone on in the past. I can look at the patterns and not repeat the patterns now. Right? On a very practical level, you can say that I'm going to speak to this person in the present moment because they are a healthier version of a relationship that I closed the book on that was very unhealthy in the past. And again, investing in the things that are physically around you in your day-to-day routine in order to live a better experience of the big picture of your life and how it is that you project yourself. In career, many of you guys have been really looking at your purpose tied to this, taking some of these traumatic things and understanding how to bring them forth to expand not only your own thinking, but your footprint in the world tied to your purpose and what it is that you want to do. So that's another thing that has been taking place as you, again, go into the space of bigger picture thinking and how you can apply your life lessons. So yeah, as May pans out, like I said, the energy will continue to get lighter. It will continue to kind of take you from a foggy energy into a more clear one. And piece by piece, you're already kind of feeling this now, but piece by piece, you'll begin to lighten based on the depressiveness that has kind of found you during that full moon transit that was happening a few days ago. And you'll understand that it was made to take you down so that you can come out to understand what it is that you needed to do next, okay? So that's what I've got for you in terms of your astrology. Welcome to Gemini season. We're going to get into the reading now. What do we've got here going on for you for the remainder of May? So we've got the Queen of Swords sitting really, really strong here with the Judgment in reverse, and we've got the Two of Pentacles, and this is along with Hammer, Wedding Rings, and the Golden Mirror. In your shadow here, we've got, what is this? And okay, so we have got the Five of Swords accompanied with the Seven of Wands and the Lovers. So what is that saying to me in terms of what is going on? More than I expected, I will say. So obviously there are things going on tied to what's happening in your subconscious mind. So kind of like we were talking about in terms of the astrology, there's a lot going on in your head, decisions that you need to make, things tied around clarity on judgment, and kind of this balancing when it comes to stress and what decisions do you need to make, where does your head need to be, where is your clarity, where is the perspective, you know, this back and forth kind of juggle dynamic kind of taking place, and you still needing to have this discernment, but this kind of critical discernment, this keen and clear-minded discernment in terms of what it is that you need to do to cut through the fat of this stress. You need to break things down in order to build them back up. Obviously here we have this idea of some kind of promise, some kind of commitment, but then we've got this one-sided love bombing type dynamic in terms of relationships playing out. In your shadow, we have a very competitive Seven of Wands with the Five of Swords and the Lovers. For some of you guys, this is you fighting through a love relationship or fighting through conversations about love, but love that has felt traumatic, love that has traumatized you, love where there was this kind of bloody battle, competitive type dynamic kind of playing out. Again, for some of you, it could be tied to a marriage type situation, a long-term relationship. You just kind of either cutting through this right now or cutting through the ideas of this going on in your head. For others of you guys, this is about decisions that you need to make. Conversations around decisions that are not necessarily the easiest, really having to hammer through this kind of fog and this inability to kind of have discernment or clear judgment in order to be very clear and concise on what it is that you want to do. When we're looking at your advice, we've got being able to trust yourself and the fact that there is more underneath the surface that you're not seeing, along with Pandora's gift. And also what it is that you are looking for, what it is that you are desiring is here to find you. It's within you somewhere. There's some kind of unveiling that needs to happen when you go deep within your own self-trust, self-confidence, depth of character within the self. Let's look at your healing points. And we've got fire here and air when it comes to your healing points, which does not surprise me at all, because in your subject we've got all these things going on with this kind of this stress and this fog going on. And in your shadow, the same thing, this fire and air. Bath call, this is fire for me. Eschew complicated explanations as you seek the simplicity of the deepest truth of your heart. Yeah, complicated explanations, again, there's a lot of complication going through the mind, a lot of fogginess, a lot of, can be stress for some of you, but more than anything, intuitively, it just feels like fogginess, a lack of clarity, kind of a, like clouds going on internally, and having to cut through the fat of all of that. As you seek the simplicity of the deepest truth of your heart, going back into the space of inner trust, gently but firmly cast aside that which does not resonate as being true for your heart. Focus upon and speak from our higher spiritual perspective. All prayers are answered at the perfect time and in the perfect way. You have a powerful voice that can foster healing and wisdom. So again, we go back into this space of the voice, right? Even though this is a fire energy, it's asking you to go into the space of expression, illuminating, healing through air. So much of this is about air, which is no surprise to me, because we are in Gemini season, and already you're kind of dealing with this chaos in a lot of ways, tied to things like expression and thoughts, and I want to say feelings, but they're the kind of feelings that are coming from a foggy mind, a mind that lacks clarity. We've got the karma of Tuhala going on here with your second healing point. This is air. This is my Ace of Swords. Your sacred soul passion is powerful enough to shift the state of your inner reality and your outer experience. So commit to what truly ignites your heart and do not be dissuaded by anything or anyone. If you are seeking to make a commitment, do so when it truly connects to you, to your heart. Follow your genuine, meaningful bliss. Know that no matter what appears to be, you shall prevail, you shall rise. I'm sorry for the sounds outside. So we go back into the space again of your sacred soul passion is powerful enough to shift the state of your inner reality. That going along with casting aside which does not serve. It's like you have to go within yourself to clear out the fog of what's happening around you. You do so by trusting yourself and understanding that what it is that you need is within. Like you hold the key to Pandora's box. There are things that are sitting inside of you that solve the questions to the answers that you have going on. And you also need to cut through the fat where you are in the space where you are being very specific about yourself and what it is that you need and what it is that you want to do. We go back into a place of commitment as well, committing yourself to the things that you feel like are passionate for your own heart and what it is that you need for your own body. For your own body. At the bottom of the tarot, we have the Four of Wands in reverse. This lack of feeling of home within the soul, and it feels like body, home within the body. I know we've talked about that since Taurus, well, actually we talked about that since Aries season, but we're still in this Chiron place. You're still working through this energy and what this means. Shifting perspectives, breaking through the clouds, cutting through the illusions to get you back into the space of what makes you feel the most at home within yourself. What would bring about that feeling of security? Some of you have dealt with narcissism in the past, and that's a part of what it is that you're healing from right now. Some of this internal battle and this this back and forth stress comes from that dynamic. Starting over, this repetitive thoughts, repetitive feelings, repetitive revisitations, kind of ruminating in a way. What will you do? You're afraid of this fight, this constant competition, misaligned choices. But the answers are like here. And also at the bottom of the clarity cards, we've got it takes time to heal. So you're still in a healing process. That becomes clear. And at the bottom of your advice, we've got following your own rhythm. Yeah, it's like doing things your way based on you going into a space of deeply trusting yourself and knowing what serves you and what does not. Let's get some advice here. Shifting. Where is your advice? What is it that we need to know? Two cards came out. What is it that we need to be doing? Ooh, wow, the Five of Pentacles. So we've got your vice sitting here with the Six of Pentacles. Only give to what gives back to you. This again goes back to relationships and choices. What serves you and what doesn't. Who serves you and who doesn't. What gives to you and what just takes from you. What is it that we need to know? We've got the King of Swords. More swords. We've got the King of Swords with the Ace of Swords. So we go back into this space where it's all about air. Having this kind of cold, concise clarity on what it is that needs to be taking place. We've got the Ace of Swords here with the King of Swords. Remember underneath this we had the Queen of Swords, and this is double confirmation on the Ace of Swords. It's like you can't put your emotions into this, because what it is that you need to do is the Five of Pentacles. You need to let go. What I love about the Five of Pentacles is it's like a beautiful release in terms of separating yourself from relationships that no longer serve you. It's a closed door that feels like relief. Oftentimes we look at the Five of Pentacles as, being the outcast, being on the outside of the church in the cold and in the rain. But when the Five of Pentacles is in your own hands, when you're closing this safe door by yourself, it's a very quiet exit. Kind of like the, it's like I have this meme in the back of my head, but it's like this feeling of like, I'm going to be out of here. Okay, I'll leave now. I'm just, there's nothing more here for me. Nothing more. No emotions, no more cups to be spilled, no more things to be said, nothing else for me to do. I'm walking away now from a space of clarity, solid mind, because these things are not giving to you anymore. You're very focused on what it is that you need to be doing when it comes to your priorities. What serves you and what does not serve you. And then for some of you, it's subconsciously, if you're like dealing with these things going on in your head where you're battling the past, it's like going back and forth when it comes to certain narratives, understanding that you can finally walk away from them because they no longer serve you. Like giving to things that give back to you, giving to people that give back to you. And it's like lifting yourself, like liberating yourself from this space of kind of this fog, lack of clarity, this balance, this stress, this back and forth, to being in this strong and firm King of Swords energy, this deeply clear, in control of the emotional body kind of energy from us, and how that marries with, I have full discernment on what it is that I need to do because I've cut through the clouds. And now it's time for me to close this door. And I don't need to feel hurt by it. I don't need to be wounded by it. I trust myself. I'm clear on myself. I've separated myself from the things that no longer resonate. And I can move toward the things that do. And most importantly, the people. For many of you guys, I try not to be too, I try not to break down too much because I know that I'm speaking to so many of you, so I try to keep it vague, but a lot of this feels like people. Literal people, conversations and dynamics that you're dealing with day-to-day people. For some of you, it could be the past, and for others of you, it can be right now. You have to have that discernment to just say no. And invest in what gives back to you. No more of this one-sided stuff, these one-sided dynamics. Break up with it, end it. You don't have to fight anymore. You don't deserve to be sitting in this space, especially because you're able to close this door from a space of empowerment if you really want to. It's like lifting yourself out of the rubble. There's a lot of strength in that King of Swords, because the King of Swords can, when you move from the Queen of Swords into the King of Swords, it's that energy of understanding, okay, we're not dealing with this anymore. We're not going to do this anymore. And I'm clear and I'm concise, and the King of Swords as well can be can represent Capricorn energy in its shadow. The shadow's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be that energy that can be cutthroat, able to navigate the emotions in a way that is so clear and concise. The answer is just simply no. Let's get some more clarity on what it is that we need to be doing. So we've got here, danger comes from taking too many risks that are difficult to control. Stop and think about it. Abundance, achieving goals brings fulfillment and wealth. Enjoy and be generous, and sooner or later luck comes to everyone. Don't spend everything all at once. So here we are going back. These are usually my career cards, but obviously it applies here. So again, we go back into this space of clarity, right? Knowing where it is that you need to stop, where it is that you need to be clear-minded, where it is that you need to be decisive, because underneath this energy is a lot of strength. Like I said, you're the one in the driver's seat in terms of closing these doors, in terms of being able to walk away from people in situations that do not serve you. This no longer gives to me. Six of Pentacles. This job is not working, this situation is not working, this relationship is not working. Or if you're going back again into your subconscious, and when we're thinking about Sagittarius, how you show up in the world, your identity, how people perceive you, how they look at you, even just down to your genetic makeup, who gives to you and who does not give to you. Having the discernment to be able to think about situations that do not give what it is that you deserve and closing that door. Because abundance is here if you allow it. You are wealthy, that wealth, and that's a part of the reason why you're being more critical than you have been in the past. Where you can say no and do it with discernment, because you deserve to be in this winning energy. Luck is on your side and you're feeling it. As you awaken more to your value systems, that's what has put you here. You don't deserve the stress that sits underneath these cards here, which we saw with the lack of clarity and the juggling going on in the mind and the fogginess and all of these things. You don't deserve it. You did not deserve it. Go within yourself and separate yourself from the things that no longer serve you. Step out of the clouds and into this energy. Know what gives to you and what does not give to you going on here, and then also awakening to your own value. Because the universe is showing up for you in this case. Especially when we're looking at the Jupiter shift in the 6th house, which is great in terms of gain when it comes to your abundance. And abundance is not just financial, but abundance in all aspects, like the things that we've been working on when it comes to prioritizing the wealth of self. So this is a lot for the rest of May. Take this energy in slowly, breathe it in. Carry it into the first week of June as it finds itself kind of lingering over. But you deserve this. This is what healing looks like. This cutthroat kind of yes, no, let go kind of energy. So yeah, okay, Capricorn. I love you. Ciao.